Welcome back, everybody. It is Tuesday again, which means it's time for another How To Tuesday. This week we are on episode 5 of the Phish Threat series. We're going to turn our attention to reporting this week. So there's some really good information here in the reports that Sophos Phish Threat provides as it relates to the campaigns and the overall organization. Today we're going to start with the campaign reports first, and then more than likely next week we'll take you to the higher level organization-wide reporting.
Okay guys, so on the dashboard you can see here we've got our 2 active campaigns. If I wanted to see all of my campaigns, I could just go into campaigns. Here's all 4 of my active, here's my past campaigns, and I can go back and look at any of this data. For today, what we're going to do is we're going to actually look at this most recent one right here. If I go ahead and click in, here's a couple of things. So I have the overview and then I have the results. The results are by user. So you can go through and actually see like, okay, did they open the email? Did they report the email, open the attachment? Did they start the training? Did they finish the training? If I go back to the overview, we have a few more pieces of information which are kind of cool. So just from a top down, you can see that there were 50 emails sent, 100%. For 50 emails. 39 of them were actually opened, so 78% opened those emails. Only 9 of those individuals actually reported. 10 of those users were actually caught, and 9 of them actually finished training. Okay, so I've got one bad user out there who hasn't done their training just yet. The next section is a really, really good one, and this is one that at least both myself and Jason are pretty happy about, because it gives you the ability to show your leadership how effective this training is been over time, right? So when you start these things out, basically what you're looking at here is this is the campaign response time, as it says here in the top. But what it shows is your fastest caught, in this case Marshall, was caught 1 hour and 13 minutes after receiving the email. The fastest reporter was Earl, and this individual reported it a day after receiving the email. So this attack had a full day in your environment prior to you being alerted of it. You as an IT organization had no idea that whoever was caught, so this Marshall guy, became compromised a day ago. So now you've got to go in and try and figure out what kind of bad stuff has happened in that past day. Obviously not a good thing. And what you want to start seeing is that your fastest reporter is within a few minutes or an hour of the email being sent out, and then your fastest caught is further down the road, maybe 6 hours, 7 hours, so on and so forth, or never. If nobody gets caught, that's the best possible outcome, right? But what this gives you the ability to show is, could my organization, even if, for example, Earl had reported this in 1 hour and 13 minutes and Marshall had gotten caught in 7 hours, could our organization have remediated that threat out of our organization in 6 hours? Could we have done that? Is that enough time for my organization to respond to this threat? It's a pretty important metric. Right next to that's going to show you the time of day. So, second to fourth hour, day 2, day 3, how many reported, how many were caught, that type of deal. You can hover over any of these. I can select in them and actually see the users if I wanted to. Next sections we have are, this one's kind of a cool one. So the device breakdown will actually be able to tell you how many of your users were actually caught on their PCs versus their mobile devices. And I would argue that obviously this is a demo environment, so all of it's going to be PC. But I would argue that you're probably going to see mobile as being the higher count, because all of us know we've opened an email on our mobile phone and accidentally clicked the link or accidentally touched something or bumped it, or heck, email's version of pocket dialing has happened, right? These are all things that could occur, but things that they need to be aware of. And there's certain things around mobile protection that you can do to kind of prevent those accidents from happening. Next section is going to be user behavior. So in this user behavior, we are going to organize your users based on this campaign as to how well they performed. So 18% of them actually had the ideal behavior and reported it. 0% of them, good behavior, caught but not reported the email, for example. Never opened the email for 22%. Not ideal was 40% that opened the email but didn't report it. And then risky behavior is the 20% that got caught. What's unique about this is how it will work with other products that we have within our security ecosystem. That's an excellent topic for another video that we'll do very shortly, I'm sure. And then the last piece that you see down here is what attack email was actually presented as part of this campaign or emails. What was the caught landing page? What was the training reminders? What was the actual training that was presented to the user base? All of this put together gives you a pretty good overview of how your organization performed in this. All of this will then be correlated up through all of the campaigns and all the statistics to build one top level view in the reports, which we'll go over in a video here to come shortly.
So as you can see, interesting information within the campaign reports of Sophos Central. I personally have two pieces of information that I like in these reports. One is towards the bottom. This is the one that shows how many people fell for the trick on their laptop or desktop versus how many people fell for the trick on their mobile device. I think you'll find the more of these campaigns you do in the organization, more people are falling for them on their mobile device, like their phone, than you might have originally thought. When you go to the top of the page, there's another piece of information that I think is very interesting. This is the one that shows who was the first person that reported the attack or the trick, and who was the first person that fell for it, and the difference between the two. You don't want that to be a short distance. Short distance means that by the time someone reported it and someone fell for it, if that was, say, 2 minutes, could you have gotten into the organization or into the environment fast enough to remove said threat before the first person fell for it? I think you'll find that oftentimes the answer is probably not. So it's an interesting metric, which you should see over time as your folks get better and better at spotting these, is that those times will widen and widen and widen between when the first person reported it and the first person fell for it. Hopefully you found this video informative this week. Please do provide us any feedback that you would like. We are super appreciative of any commentary. It helps make these videos better. I don't think there was anything else we wanted to cover with everyone on our How To Tuesday for this week. Thank you again for watching. We will see you again on our next How To Tuesday.